Alrighty guys, welcome back to another single-player episode of the Farming Simulator 2017 series. Last time we were playing, we had just started making this ridiculous wooden bench for my logs to be processed on. So I think I'm going to continue trying to process onto this benchy thing. We'll see what happens. If it goes to crap, I'll just drop it all on the floor. I don't really care. After that, I think I'm going to give the buncher a rest for this video. Let her sit over there and collect some more dust. I'm going to take this fixed head processor, and I'm going to go walk through the bush here. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up longs similar to this piece, and then I'm going to go buy myself a self-loader, and I'm going to bring it on through here, and we'll try it out. See if we can load up some logs of our own, and we'll see how it goes. So we'll finish processing this pile here first. Shouldn't take too long. There's not a whole lot here. We did bring a little bit of wood last time. I was gonna carry the video on a little bit longer, but we kind of went over our scheduled time there. So I don't know. I haven't actually processed onto this yet, so we're gonna see how it goes. It could have good or bad results depending on how we do it here. There we go. Oops, flinging pieces at myself. There we go. I like to cut it about there, but that seems too far. See, at least on the ground I can kind of get a better depth perception. When I'm cutting on this thing, it's a little funky. I'm sure with enough practice anything can be done, but let's bring it up about there. That looks like a happy medium. Alright, there we go. Beautiful. I can't tell depth perception wise. Is that lined up? Oh, it's kind of lined up. Weird. It looks a lot different when it's off the ground. I think I've just been processing in this game for too long, so everything feels like it should be a certain way. Some tiny ones here, get rid of them. Must have snipped the tip off that one. Must have grinded her up. I like that though. I like seeing, you know, like some diversity in the pieces of wood. I don't know, it looks a lot cooler. Alright. There we go. Having a little bit of a random variation in the wood kind of takes the monotony out of processing. For instance, if you see a shitty end, you can cut it off higher up or lower down. Whatever seems to work best for you. I'm going to try to get through this stuff fast because I'm kind of excited to try doing our self-loader thing. Would have done that first, but I like to finish one job at a time while playing this game. I don't like to let it stack up. I can see we screwed up a log here. Kind of afraid to try to squish it down because I think the whole pile might go for a shit. I said I was gonna try not to swear, but I say shit a lot, and that's pretty good because normally I say much worse things. So shit is not gonna be considered a swear word. We are gonna take that out of the programming. I will say that often. Hopefully not too often, but often-ish, if that's a word. Back there. Bloop. Oh, what the hell? Oh, that must have been that tree that I clipped. Can we get it? Yeah, we got her. Oh, there we go. I didn't even notice the other end was short. Bloop. Probably could have made a crappy... I don't think I could have made a top out of that one, actually. Yeah, well, I'm hoping this little series will become a little bit more popular because it's a lot higher quality. It's kind of fun doing my own thing, too. I mean, I really like multiplayer. I might be starting up playing multiplayer with another group here, but I don't know. I'm still feeling some out here. There's a few different groups that asked me to go log with them, and then a few that openly log and have no idea, so I might just drop in on one of their games and kind of feel it out, see how people are. And then if that works out, maybe I'll get some new logging videos. I don't know, I'm always kind of hesitant to join logging groups on this game because you just never know what you're going to run into. I mean, most groups are really good. The best one I think so far I've been with was Papa Tanuku. I miss those guys, they're pretty fun. Actually, that was probably the last series I think I had recorded. It was quite an aged video, but I imagine if people are seeing the videos, they're thinking they were pretty recent. But definitely one of the more chillaxing people I've had to play with. The biggest problem I run into when I'm trying to play with groups is that going to be smaller top? We'll put that over here, screw it. Biggest thing I run into, especially with the other modding groups or YouTubers or whatnot, is that I get mod requests so hard when I'm playing, and it drives me nuts. Sometimes, like now, I just want to play and have a good time and enjoy myself, which I am. This is fun. I actually really enjoy doing this. But once when I'm playing with a group, it's like, hey man, fix this, or I don't like this, or hey, you know what, you should add this. Hey man, add this. This is the best. Add this, do this, do this. To the point where I'm like, man, I just want to play. I get enough mod requests a week. I just want to play my game, you know, have some fun. But I've almost thought of just going into servers and not telling anyone who I am because nobody's gonna recognize me. It's not like anybody's gonna recognize my voice or anything. Well, they might after I do this long enough, but yeah, I was thinking maybe I'll just bomb into a game and my name will be something like Peter or something, you know, Jack, John, and I just don't tell anybody I'm from FDR Logging. I almost considered that. Maybe I'll do that, just to screw with people. We'll see how things go. And then I can play with them, and I can listen to them. Actually, that'd probably be even worse, because then I'd hear nothing like, this doesn't work, and that doesn't work. I don't know. You know, sometimes I just don't know. Let's get this guy out of here. Man, we're almost at the end of that pile. I went a lot quicker than I expected. Did I even turn my timer on? I am so terrible for that. I never remember to turn that damn thing on. Nope, I didn't. Okay, well, it's on now anyway, so we'll probably run her for another 15 minutes or so, and that should probably be good. That's probably more than enough for what we need. Is that really a top? It's kind of like a half a top. I don't know. Oh, hey, this piece. This is the piece I was looking for. Oops. I can probably get a short piece out of that. Ah, yeah, look at that. Beauty. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this loader out of my way, because this is where I'm going to be cutting, and this birch is just going to follow me around everywhere. So maybe instead I'll just throw it on the next truck. Oops, I was trying to be creative and separate the birch, but it's not quite working the way I intended, so. There we go. We'll just put it at the back of the pile here. If we're really slick, we can drop it and get those little shorts out of there at the same time. Oh no. Oh, whatever. You know what? That's just how that's gonna be. Yeah, I don't know how that'll be for loading. I guess we're gonna find out. I'm not gonna do the short logs just yet. I'm gonna start cutting into the bush over there. There's not quite enough here to be even worth bringing a truck in, so we'll just leave them alone. Plunk the head down. Alright. So now we're going to switch to the longs. I haven't really thought of how I'm going to do this yet. Where am I going to pile them? I guess I can pile them along here. But then I gotta think about the self-loader too when he comes in. Whoops, I'm driving into a tree with my head here. And then once my self-loader comes in, I'll have to back it in and then grab from the right to the left. When you're cutting, if you want to do it right, you gotta think of all this stuff way ahead of time. So like if I pile the trees here, where am I going to back the truck up? That kind of stuff, you know? So we'll put along here. See, and now the butts are also away from us. That's something else you got to consider. Because we're cutting left to right, the butts are going to be on that end, right? So now that might make it tricky for loading. We might have to back up or drive in from the other way and load from the right to the left. All things to consider, you know? But this is just another way to clear the block. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love bunching and skidding, it's fun times, but this is probably the most, in my opinion, effective way of getting it cleared when you're logging by yourself. As long as you have a really good method of getting the wood out of the bush when you're piling it like this, because as we go along here, we're going to run out of room. It'll be a long way to back up to get the wood out of the bush here, so. I don't care anymore. We're going to mix the birch in with the spruce and the pine and the whatever. There's not quite enough on this block to even worry about sorting it. It's when you get like a 50-50 split of the birch to the spruce, then it's fun to split it, because that's how they do it in real life, so you might as well have some fun. Most places don't let you mix your species of wood together. So you just keep trekking around back and forth and see what you can come up with. Not to mention, this thing does a really nice clean cut. Like, you see how there's like barely any stumps in the ground? Beauty. Looks really nice. And you make a nice clean pile. Oh, I guess we can add this one to there too. What else I should do while I'm here? Make sure we save the game. Very important. I always forget to do that. Watch, there'll be one video where I come back and it'll be, I'll miss a whole pile because I accidentally didn't save or something. Actually, I probably won't record it. I would probably just go ahead and log it ahead of time and then record the video after. Probably. There we go. Get some little dinky ones on there. I don't think I'll have enough time to actually use the self-loader in this video to do a load, but I should be able to get enough trees to probably almost make a load, I imagine, out of this block. Or out of this little chunk I'm doing here. Whoops, fired her a little early. Probably don't want to do that in real life. But of course, in real life, you can control how fast it goes forward and backward. You're not sitting, it doesn't automatically keep feeding through for you, which is nice. I would love if this game had a feed feature, like you could hold down the button and let go and it would stop. But that just sounds like way too much work for a shoddy little Giants engine. I mean, all things considering, I mean, I'm really glad this game exists and we were able to bring it to this, but considering we're in the 2017 edition and it's still using the same shitty engine from Farming Simulator, what, 2009 or 12 or whatever the hell was the original one? It's the exact same engine, I kid you not. How do you think they've been able to use the same editor? All they've done is they've added like new dynamic lighting and better textures. The problem with that is the engine is so poorly optimized for this game now that you know, they've added all these bells and whistles on top of such an ancient old gaming engine that it can barely handle it. You get all these graphical glitches and performance drops, and yeah, especially with mods. I don't know if it's just third-party mods in general, but mods get the worst performance. All the in-game vehicles that they created, for some reason, I don't know what they've done to them, they run well with the engine, like super well with the engine. But like these machines that I have right here, they're actually less graphically intensive than the vehicles in-game. Like the pickup truck, I was looking at this the other day, like, what I'll do is I'll run this, oops, not this. Oh, you can't see it. You'll see some weird numbers on the left side of the screen, but I have 3 monitors, so you can't see where the text is. But basically, it runs a RAM and diagnostics of the game that you're currently playing based on what's happening. So what I did is I was thinking, man, my machines must be really high complexity in graphics, because it always seems to have performance problems. So what I did is I ran the VRAM test and all the tests to confirm how much performance each machine is taking while playing in the game. And get this, the in-game pickup truck, like the one that Giants built, that little that little crappy, you know, just basic pickup truck, nothing really special about it. It uses up like something 4.8 million polygon, or not polygons, whatever the hell those metric units are. I don't know what the hell they are, but they're uses up like 4,600,000 or something, and that's just the vehicle sitting there in idle, like with the script running. I did the same with this processor, and this one uses like fourth, like a quarter of what the other one does. And for some reason, they just don't get the same support for whatever reason. But I've read on other forums too that the third-party mods don't get as smooth a performance as the in-game engine ones for whatever reason. I'd like to know what the secret is though, so I could apply it to my mods so it'd be smoother. But I don't know. Not a clue. It's one of those things left for the who knows. What I'd like to do is make an actual ridiculously good logging game. That would be pretty cool. But I don't quite have the resources, or let alone the education and know-how to build something like that, so I'm sure I could learn. If I learned how to do all this, I'm sure I can learn how to do that, but that would cost a heck of a lot more money than these models. That is for sure. We're getting a nice little pile here anyway. Kind of cleared our reach out here, so maybe what we'll do is I'll start piling them over here too, just for fun. I don't know, where's a good place to pile them? Right here? That does not look like a good place to pile them. In fact, that looks like a very poor place, so we're going to change our mind on that one. Maybe we'll put them across this gully right here. There you go, that's what I'm going to do. For this is shall be where the logs will live. But yeah, you know, as fun as the game is, it does have some severe performance issues, and always probably will until they update the engine. And then God forbid they update the engine, who knows what'll happen after that, so I don't know. I don't want to talk shit about Giants, but they kind of do it to themselves with a lot of the stuff they do. Not to mention, like, console support. Oh my god, I can't believe the debauchery of console support. Trying to go through that. I found the simplest mod that I had, which was the grapple loader at the time, the most least complex one, because there was the easiest scripting and stuff. There's no processor heads or complicated stuff going on. I resubmitted that mod, I kid you not, 38 times. Resubmitted it 38 times, alright? And I did all the modifications that they asked every single time. And you know, every time I did a modification, instead of telling me everything that was wrong with the mod that needed to be changed, every time I submitted it, I had to wait 2 days and then have them tell me, okay, it needs a logo here, or it needs a banner here, or it needs this here. But instead of telling me all this stuff at one time, they told me one thing at a time every time I submitted it, to the point where I got to, like I said, number 37 submission. And yeah, it was bad. Finally, on the last submission, it was something so trivially stupid. I think it was something to do with the costs of the machines being too extraordinarily weird or something. Well, the first time I had the machine set it at $0, because all my machines were set at $0, and they said, no, it has to have a realistic price. So I looked it up, and like the prices of it now, it's like 200 and something thousand or something like that. And then they said, no, that's not a realistic price. And I said, well, for Christ's sake, what is a realistic price then? So I don't know if they were just dicking me around and didn't want my mods on console or what, but it seemed like we were getting pretty extraordinary. I was originally going to save all the emails and the playing around and then publish them just to show how ridiculous it was, but then I just said, it's kind of a childish thing to do, so I said, well, if they don't want me to have my mods on console, then you know what, those poor console people get to miss out. And you know what, I hope the console people come to PC anyway, because it's a way better platform with way more options. So, yeah, there won't be any console support. I have another buddy who worked with FDR Logging lots and did stuff, but he's trying to convert the maps or something for doing the sorry, I lost my train of thought while I was backing up there. I was hung up. I keep looking at the tracks because they're freaking out here when I go up hills, and I'm trying to think how I can fix them. But anyway, my buddy who said he's going to try to remake the maps and try to figure out how to get them on console, he's going to try to go through the submission process. And I said, man, fly at it if you have the balls to try, but I said don't expect any good results, and it's very frustrating. So, you know what, if he succeeds, I mean, power to him. You guys will be able to get the mods on console, and then you can have some fun with it. But I am definitely under the impression that there's no way they're going to let it happen, so until then, I'm going to keep submitting them online, and everybody can just have a good time that way, right? You can't always win, man. That's just how it goes. But I'm over that part. I don't care about that anymore. As long as my mods are getting used and people are happy, that's all I really care about. The money side of things, the political side of things, the console side of things, I don't really care about anymore. It's not why we did it, man. We got to keep with the spirit of modding. The whole reason we did any of this, well, actually, it was originally I did it all for myself because I wanted a button top. That's how this whole thing started. I wanted a loader, and nobody would build it for me. So boo-hoo, poor Jordan. Went sobbing away, begging all the modders for a loader, and nobody got back to me. So I said, how hard can it be to make a loader? And that was a nightmare. And, you know, almost 2+ years later, here we are. Logging on a map that we made. Logging on a map that I made. With machines that I put together. I don't know. It's like, it feels, you know, I can't say that because it's not true, but it feels like I made my own game. That's kind of what it feels like. And in a sense, I guess you kind of made a game within a game, I suppose. But I mean, all the features are already here, so I can't really say I made the game, obviously. That's too arrogant. And we don't want to do arrogance, because that's not cool. But yeah, I don't know. I'll keep doing FDR logging as long as there's still stuff to make. Eventually, I'll probably have made every friggin' logging machine known to man, and I won't know what to do with it. I have one more thing I gotta fix on these machines, and then I'm probably going to start discontinuing certain machines. I just gotta get the tracks right. That's the one thing that's kind of driving me bonkers, is the tracks on these things. Because they have issues. Alright, I'm gonna drop this tree. Something's going on here. I think I got stuck in the bushes here. There we go. Making a nice pile of longs here, though. This will be fun. This will be some good times for sure. Come on. There we go. Oh, my time is going to be running. I think this video is going to be a tiny bit shorter than the last one. Probably cut it by an extra 5 or 10 minutes here because I actually have to go pick up my wife from work. But I have at least another maybe 5-8 minutes. We'll see here. Just to be really precise. So we'll hold out at least a little bit longer. Just keep building this pile up like a crazy person. But hey, we've cleared a lot of wood. My next big thing, like I said in the last video I want to make, is I want a stump grinder that'll go through and just instantly roast all these stumps. because I'm hearing from lots of people that they're causing huge performance issues on multiplayer, having all these stumps everywhere. So I would like to get rid of the stumps, to be honest. And I think that would solve a lot of problems if you could just drive through and go zip, 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 and clean them all up. Because as far as I know, the stumps are not actually part of the tree until you cut the tree. So if you went through here with a stump grinder, unlike the last game, it won't make as big of a mess, I guess you could say. Because the stumps will... I don't know how that would work, actually. That's just speculation, but until I start playing with the stump grinder, I guess I'm not gonna know. Look, we're processing left to right. I hate processing left to right. I imagine in real life it's not quite as bad because you can see a little better. Or at least you can lean out and see a little bit better, but in this game it's quite a bit different. That or I've been processing right to left so long that it just feels weird. I don't know, one or the other. Whoa, easy boy. Those big trees get a little finicky. Those are the only ones I don't like cutting down with this thing, is the big trees, because they don't play nice with others. At least we got some longs in here too to kind of change things up a bit. I mean, technically we don't really need the self-loader. I could come through here with a regular truck and just use that grapple loader. But I just like to try new things, have some fun, you know, change it up a bit. So I'm definitely going to try with that loader. Oh, and I can see my wife is calling me, so she must be done work now. I am going to go ahead and probably finish cutting this tree, and then I will call her back. And call this the end of the video, too. Alright. Well, sorry to cut things a little bit short in this video, but I think we got close to 25-ish minutes or somewhere in there. Got a nice pile of longs to play with. Hopefully next video we will be able to come by with a self-loader and clean it all up. And yeah, we'll see where things go from there. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. See ya.